I'm Serious Eyebrows. You can learn how to play 2,000 songs by just learning one note. You are the sunshine of my life. Stevie Wonder. When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me. John Lennon. Mull of Kintyre, Ole Miss rolling into the sea. John Lennon. There is a house in New Orleans they call the Rising Sun. The Animals. How about a bit of classical? Time to say goodbye. Or how about a bit of Brian Hyland? She wore a itsy bitsy teeny weeny yellow polka dot bikini. And for those of you who like a bit of ultra modern, here's some Britney Spears. My loneliness was killing me. I must confess, I paid for these. And then, with the Christie method, you can turn this into something absolutely incredible. Stay tuned, 50% more notes next week when I take you onto this one. But anyway, never mind about all that now. Today we're here in Vintage Keys Studio after a hiatus, hernia, of 2 months, because I've been herniated, but now back on track. Today we are going to be looking at the Solina Eminent P275. Before we get going, I should just give a little bit of a shout out to the Vintage Key Masters, the people who have actually given us a bit of cash, who have helped keep us warm this winter. Anyway, here is the Solina P275. This came from a antique shop in Northampton. I had no idea if it was going to work, and it didn't quite work when I got it. One of the notes was stuck, and it took a few goes to try and get it to sort it out. But in the end, I managed to work out to lift the lid of it and pull this out, which I will do now actually, because I need to show you some bits in there. There is the innards of it. There was a problem with this board here, which was one of the, I can't remember what it was called now. I think it was the key triggering gate or something rather for the sustain. Anyway, basically I've replaced a whole key's worth of it, and it's now working. So that's good. So anyway, let's just shut that up for a second. I'll take you through on a bit of a tour of what this thing can do. Okay, so firstly, we have the tibias setting here, which is the equivalent of, say, a Hammond organ set of drawbars. So here we have the 16-foot, the 8-foot, which is a divided up version of, or is it divided down, or whatever it is, of that one. And then we have the 5 3/4 one, which is a fifth above that one, perfect fifth above that one. And then we have the octave above that one, and then another octave above that one. And lower manual, we've got tibia 8, tibia 4, tibia 2. So, a bit scratchy, but not particularly inspiring at the moment. But then it's got these nice modulators on it that are designed to give the effect of a Leslie speaker. So we have the chorus sound, and then when the Leslie gets going, that's the tremolo sound. And There's also a separate vibrato sound which you can adjust the amount of. Unfortunately, you can't change the speed of the vibrato, but again, you probably can't do that on a lot of things. Now, one thing this keyboard does, or organ does, which I'm not sure if it was really designed to do, is you can press lots of these selector buttons together and they all work together because they're designed. You can see that when you press one, the other one switches off, but you can actually press them all together and get like a sort of a super modulated chorusy sound. We've got a reverb spring in there, very subtle. I'm just putting my foot down here. Unfortunately, there's no horse down there at the moment. We usually have trouble in this studio with horses sticking their faces through here, but luckily on this one, that's not happened yet. I have to say I've removed the bass pedals on this because they were a bit broken, and my plan with this one, because I'm running out of space, is to actually cut this whole organ, the top part of it, off of the base of it, and chuck this bit away or use the bits from it. There's not much in there. In fact, I'll just very quickly show you that the back of it, there's hardly anything in there at all. There's two speakers in there, a woofer and a tweeter. It's a mono output. That's the swell pedal, and then that's where the foot pedals were. But there's just a big load of space there, so I'll just cut it along there and along there and along the front, and you'll just have a great big heavy keyboard. And then obviously this is all the electronic-y bits inside. It's quite unusual for an organ to have everything compact in the top of it. Usually it sort of spills out underneath and there's extra bits, which is really annoying. But never mind. So back to here then. So we've got this sort of interesting vibrato and tremolo and chorusy thing going on. Nice reverb there. Just sort of. We've also got a tuning, which is kind of quite useful. And then there's a percussion setting. Oh, it's one of those repeat things. And the percussion repeat So that's the organ side of things. So, all right, it's not amazing. Then I'll just take you through these different presets here. So on from the tibias, you've got the brass, which is quite nice. And you can hear that vibrato is built into that sound. It's not affected by this. So this is basically, as it says there, tibia modulator. So the tibias, these things, are only affected there and here. So that's the brass. Then we've got the oboe. Prizes for the almost, I probably didn't play it right, but the oboe solo I just played there, what record it was from, I'll do it one more time. Something like that, anyway. There's not many rock bands that had a rock oboe in. So you might get a packet of polos off me if you get that right. Anyway, clarinet. Notice that when you play, when the envelope of the note starts, it takes a little bit of time for the vibrato to come in, but if you're playing legato and you move to another note, the vibrato carries on. So, or it sort of takes this. It's only very subtle, but okay. Then we have pan flute, which I quite like this one. Violin. Okay, so they're the red ones. Then we got the brown ones. These are the piano-y attack, piano-y envelope type things. So they've got, although saying that, they start off with a piano attack, but then they end up with an organ sort of tail, which basically carries on forever, which doesn't make much sense. But oh no, it doesn't. It does fade away, but it takes ages. Okay, so piano, harpsichord, vibraphone, as you just heard. Then we got synth 1. And I'm altering the sound of that by merely playing it with legato or staccato. So staccato, where you'll get meh, 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 like, or legato. Then we got synth 2. Well, I'd rather like that. And then we have synth 3, which is more of a stringy type thing. Now, there's actually a sort of a Solina, who are famous for the string ensemble keyboard. There's a Solina String Ensemble sound built into this machine, and that is accessed by pressing this button here, String Ensemble. And you've also got the sustain that's upper manual, and that will allow you to have a sustain on the note. Now, one thing I wish this did do, which it doesn't presently, is there's no, like on a Solina String Ensemble, there's the crescendo slider, and it's a shame it doesn't have one of those on here. There probably is a way of adding one, although I haven't found it yet, but if anyone wants to try having a go at working out where in the circuit I could add one, then let me know and I will send you the schematics, because I've got the schematics for this. I did accidentally get one of the note that was playing up on the sustain thing when I first got this. I actually accidentally got that to have a slow attack on it, but that was by accidentally cutting one of the legs of a transistor off. So there's something there, but that was only on one note. So if there's there must be a way somehow of universally changing the attack of the note and then adjusting it. So I'm pretty sure it must be hopefully quite simple to do. But anyway, it'd be nice if you could do that. I forgot to say as well that the upper manual sustain function also works for the tibias and some of the other ones as well. So here we've got the sustain isn't on. So it's on there. Doesn't work for the red ones, but it works for the brown ones. I don't think it... Oh, it does. It works for those. But it doesn't work for that one. And then also you've got, this is quite nice here, this multi-voice, which is basically a chorus effect, which works on some of the upper manual solo thing. Well, yeah, these here. So if I press the solo on there, well, without it, first of all, you've got the brass. And then the oboe. The clarinet. That's quite a nice sounding. And the violin. It doesn't work on the piano or the harpsichord doesn't work on synth 1 or synth 2, but it does work on synth 3. No, it doesn't. That was a lie. But again, you can press all of them all at once. You can also have, say, the brass on, and if you press the string ensemble button at the same time, they both come on. Or just string by itself. And you can have violin, or violin with the string ensemble, or those together. Also, the multi-voice chorus can be applied to the tibias by themselves. Which is different to... That's without the chorus completely. And then a different kind of chorusy sound. And it also does it with the lower manual as well, so without it. And it also adds it to the pedal. And I'll get to the pedals in a minute, because obviously I've taken these ones out. But I've got a bit of a modification I'm hoping to do involving slugs. Now, let's have a look at the rhythm box. this is rather confusing here. You've got the one finger chord things. That's the majors there, then you've got minors here. So you here, that's the major one. Let's just put it on something simple. That's the C minor. And then that any of these keys will switch those off. So let's try some of the different versions. So we've got waltz. Cha-cha. You can also turn the pedals off by just turning the pedals down. There you see. Not a bad pedal sound on this. Pedal's got a sustain on it as well. The pedal's also got an attack, which gives it more punch. So anyway. And then we have rumba. Let's just turn the pedal. Oh, actually, I'll keep it on. Then back to the original one we had on first. There's different tone. Different arpeggios. You can have it either on piano or harpsichord setting. Oh yes, every time you touch this strip or get anywhere near it, underneath here there's a sensitivity pot. So at the moment that's set on very, very sensitive and it won't shut up. So if I just turn that right onto that basically plays fill-ins forever with it set all there. And it's so basically you can have it halfway through, so it, and then really have to hit it. Anyway, that's quite a nice thing. I can't remember what it was. It was a Casio something or other, had that, one of the first Casio tones had that kind of thing on it. A little metal strip on the side that made you worried to touch it in case you got an electric shock off it, but you never did. Not like on the Onduline, because that's quite nice getting a 30-volt shock. So that's that. We've got a couple of other bits and pieces on this. Stop. God's sake. Right. Well, that's all that stuff. So that's basically what, I mean, obviously there's millions of hours of fun you can have with this thing. And I think, although it's quite a sort of a kind of a basic design, there's a lot of scope to mess around with it and to also, modify it. And so I will say again, if anyone thinks they might know of a way of changing the attack time of any of the sustain sounds, or the string ones, and let us know, and then we'll do it, and then we'll show you how it sounds. The last thing to show you on this one is the bass pedal modification that I haven't done yet, but I want to do. It involves some anti-slug tape and some bits of wire. And if I just adjust this now. Okay, this is all. It's unscrewed. I've unscrewed everything. So that is the obviously the upper manual there. This has the kind of quite common springs that hit a bus bar, and it's just a single bus bar on this thing. So there's not like multiple bus bars like you might get on a Lowry organ. Slightly annoying because of the idea I've had to do the bass modification is basically just to get it so that the lower manual will play the bass notes by you actually playing them. So if I lift this one up as well, there, and I will turn it off in a second because I should say all the stuff on this side is live mains, so you don't want to be fiddling with that too much, especially not with your slug tape. So let's just switch it off first and unplug it as well. Well, it doesn't really make a huge amount of difference, but I'll do it anyway. There's still harmful charges in there that will hurt. Okay. That bit there is the bit that you don't touch. You don't fiddle around with that because there's mains going through that. Right. This is the bass pedal thing, wiry thing. What do you call them? A ribbon wire, whatever it is. So on there will be the equivalent to the bus bar, and then all of the different notes will be somewhere along there. And I did write them all down, so hang on a second. The end bit, the red bit, if I just point with, you can see there, so that end socket there is for E. That's E flat, D, D flat and C. And then the bus bar that those notes there individually need to be touching is there. So if I I'll put a wire in there, and this one's already got a bit of slug tape on. I'll just get another bit of wire. So just cut that off there. Decton tools, very good. Not very expensive either. Right. So that's the, whatever note I said it was, E. And then if I put so there's E flat, D, D flat, C there. That's the bus bar connection. So now, when I touch these two wires together, when the thing's switched on in a minute, you'll hear the E note sound, because that's basically the same as playing the pedal when it was all connected up. So let's just switch it back on again. Oh, I'll plug it back in again. So you can hear every time I play that, or push that wire to that one, it plays an E. If I move it to the next slot, you get E flat. And then if I put it to one of the other random ones over here, you'll get another note, G. So basically all I need to do is to connect up all of those wires to individual wires and then put some contacts on each one. And my plan is, well, I'm just going to switch this off again. My plan will be to, hopefully using the slug tape, which is just copper tape, so that will be under here somehow. So under the lower manual here, it's going to have contacts from here. So it'll be up from C to C. I'm going to put pieces of copper tape on each of these bits of the underneath of the note, and then there's going to be the bus bar, which will just be, I'll probably just do it with a piece of plastic or something like that underneath there, covered in tape. So then basically whenever you press down on a note, it'll be the same as doing this, you know, just touching those things, or pressing down on an organ pedal note. And I'm not going to do this now while you're watching me do the video, but I'll do the modification in the next few days, and then there'll be an update. What I'll have to do as well is install a switch which will change between playing the organ pedal notes from here or just using it as the lower manual, because otherwise you'll get both at the same time, which will be all right, but you want to turn it off so you don't want it on all the time. So yeah, so that'll be that. And also look at this, this is quite good because it's just sort of freely moves around, which is quite disconcerting. Anyway, so for now, that has, look at this tiny pencil. I think I'm going to keep that. For now, this has been the Eminent Solina P275 organ quite a lot of fun, really. Oh, I forgot to say, here's the output. You've got a headphone socket here, and you've got a output, possibly an input as well. I've not really looked at the manual of it, but it's probably an input. But that'll be just putting in or out to the amplifier that's on board. Anyway, yes. So that's that. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please do like and subscribe and like. You might want to head over to the Patreon page, or if you can find the members area thing on YouTube, we have some exclusive exclusive content and exclusive comment on there as well for the Vintage Key Masters. Yes, I hope you've enjoyed today and get practicing on the piano. I'll see you next time.